Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I want to update everyone on the distracted driving campaign mission that I've been on recently. In a video earlier this week, I talked about how I think 16 is way too young to be driving a car. There are actually two good reasons for that. Number one, as everybody knows, our brains are not fully developed until we're 30 years old, right? And I can attest to that. When I go back and watch videos from myself a few years ago, there are definitely philosophies that I would not hold today after some brain development, right? And another viewer pointed out another problem with driving at 16. You become too normalized with it. You feel like it's a toy that you've lived all your life with. You don't have respect for it, right? It's just like you don't have respect for any other toy that you might have at 16 years old, right? I personally think that Americans start dating way too young as well. They don't have respect for love. They don't have respect for sex. They don't have respect for that everybody loves differently. I think if we made it not normal to start dating until we were at least 25, I think our culture would be a heck of a lot. We have a lot more acceptance for LGBTQ people. I think there would be much fewer divorces because we would respect it for what it is, right? A serious commitment, right? We get too normalized. It pains me to see a lot of kids getting too normalized with credit cards these days, right? I used to work at a tutoring center. I can't tell you how many kids had I don't know if it was an authorized user on their parents' credit card, maybe it was a debit card, but they get so used to swiping away on their credit cards. We need to get kids more involved with investing in precious metals, right? I can't tell you one time I saw a kid buy some kind of exotic metal. Well, actually, I did. His parents were very upset. I was working at a tutoring center, and one day I like to throw in a little culture jam, and sometimes when I'm teaching something, just for example, let's say you invested some amount of money in bismuth, right? I think I used an example like that. Obviously, he asked, what is bismuth, right? And I explained to him, it's this precious metal that's almost as rare as gold, but right now it's only $6 a pound. And I was hoping to just, as a little bit of a culture jam, just to get him and his friends to talk about it. Next thing I knew, he took the money he had been saving to buy a car and bought like, I think a 50-pound box of bismuth or something like that. His mom was so upset. And actually, that might have been a good idea. Get him out of the cars and into bismuth instead. His mom was so upset at that. And I said, well, that's good for his future. I wouldn't be surprised if that's his retirement fund right there. And his mom got even more upset when I said that. Anyway, you get kids too normalized to the idea of driving at such a young age. They treat it like a fun toy to play with, right? Think about what else 16-year-olds are doing, right? They're playing video games. They might be going on their first date, which also very likely will not turn into anything good. You get the idea, right? They're eating a lot of junk food at that point in time, probably, which is probably not a very good idea either. I quit eating junk food at around that time, by the way, when I was 16. You get people normalized to the idea of driving. But there's something else I want to say. A lot of 16-year-olds don't have a whole lot to lose, right? They certainly don't have a lot of connections. They don't have kids. And I can't tell you how many 16-year-olds I ran into at the tutoring center who could care less if something were to happen to them and they were to die today, right? I personally feel that way. My last car accident, that was my fault. That was 8 years ago. At the time, I didn't have very much to lose, right? I certainly wasn't working at my dream job. I was bouncing from job to job, and so I didn't have the bismuth art career going on. I had just started writing computer games. I didn't feel like I had very much to lose in that regard as well. I didn't have a whole lot of connections. And so the most dangerous driver you have on the road is not necessarily the one on their cell phone, the one who's drunk. Yeah, those are dangerous, but you know what's the most dangerous driver you can have on the road? The one who doesn't have anything to lose and could care less if he lives or dies. Oh my God, that driver will do anything. whether it be distracted driving, whether it be road rage, whether it be outright like killing themselves on the road, right? I'm sure that happens from time to time as well, right? Anyways, so that's a big reason. Maybe it's not so much of a driving age anymore, but more of a as part of your driving test, they ought to see if you have something in your life to lose, right? I'm serious. The most dangerous driver on the road is the one who has nothing to lose, I think, personally. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.